and then we can give corrections.
Yeah, I can try it. I will. I'll be a sport.
Yay!
It might be really bad.
I mean, what we're doing, you can say too. But we're live on YouTube, so we should get started.
Yay.
You want to do the introduction today, Jackie?
Okay, well, hi everyone. Welcome to Ballet Bharatanatyam. This week we are doing a full hour of ballet, but don't worry, next week we'll be going back half and half for several weeks, and then hopefully again we'll be doing the hour-long classes every 8 weeks-ish. So this week we're doing all ballet, and if you haven't been with us before, we highly recommend you kind of go back to some of the previous videos, because we'll go into some of the stuff that we'll breeze through this week in more detail. But feel free to leave comments and questions if you want, and we will try to address your questions as we go. We really want this to be an interactive class. So if you're on YouTube, we would love for you to comment and ask questions if you have any. So with that, we'll just kind of introduce ourselves. I'm Jackie. I use the pronoun she, her. I'm one of the ballet instructors.
And I'm Kristen. I also use she, her, and I'm one of the ballet instructors.
I'm Anjali. I use the pronoun she, her, and I am one of the Bharatanatyam teachers.
Hi, I'm Shruti, and I'm one of the Bharatanatyam teacher, and I also go by she, her.
All right, so for ballet today, we were going to introduce a new exercise. So we're always kind of like working through a traditional like the bar exercises. So like every time in a ballet class, you start with pliés, then you go to tendus, then rond de jambes, and so far and so forth. So we've been slowly adding more of these exercises as we kind of go through the curriculum. So today we are going to add battement relevé lent, which is a slow raising and lowering of the leg. We do it to the forward side and the back. To do this, we're going to have to introduce the position arabesque. That's where the leg goes to when we raise it to the back. But before we get into that, we are going to warm up with some ballet or some pliés and tendus.
So Jackie, I'll spotlight you to begin with.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys just let me know what you need.
Okay. So we want to kind of go quickly through our pliés and tendus. So we're going to do our plié exercise, that we've been doing the past several weeks if you've been with us. And if you haven't, just follow along. And what we also had been introducing in the last few weeks was the épaulement, which is the slight movement of your shoulders. So if you're comfortable adding that on, add it on. If you're not, you can always do it next week, or you can do it when you're ready. And we'll be using port de bras and the head as well. That's what I will be demonstrating. But again, if you just want to focus on warming up your legs, or really want to focus on the positions of your legs, feel free to always put your hands on your hips. So we will begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi 1, 2, 3, 4, demi 5, 6, 7, 8, grand plie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu second, demi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand plie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fourth, demi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand plie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fifth, demi 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand plie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu first, allongé, and close. Any questions before we move on to the other side? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand plie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu second, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand plie, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fourth, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu fifth, demi, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, grand, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, tendu first, allongé, and close.
I just wanted to say really quick that every week I'm just blown away by like how beautiful Shruti and Anjali, you do these exercises. Like in the grand scheme of like learning ballet, we really haven't been practicing all that long. And I think it's just incredible, like how beautiful your arms and your heads and your like, I don't know, like the artistry of it is. And I'm sure it's because you've been trained in other styles as well and are beautiful dancers. Just wanted to say that really quick.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do, I think Kristen, do you want to do just kind of tandus right now?
Yeah, I think we can do some Batma Tandu San, and then I think we want to have a lot of focus on the Batma Tandu Jeté, because then that's
Okay.
kind of like where we go through as we raise the leg. So I just really want to get it in everyone's minds of like what that Batma Tandu Jeté feels like, so they can know what changes then for the Batma Relevé Lant.
Okay, great. So we'll just do Batma Tandu San right now. So we're gonna just do, I always like to start with a slow one. So we'll do out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do that en croix. So that means front side, back side. So we'll do it to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do it to the side again. Really focus on really peeling through that foot, rolling through that foot. And just use this to really warm up the muscles in your feet. If you want to add the épaulement, you want to add the heads and arms. Again, when you're going to the front, you sort of are looking out and over, and your shoulders are sort of open a little bit. To the side, it just stays front. And then when you do the back, you're peeking under like there's a mirror in the palm of your hand. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, in, 5, 6, 7, 8, out, 1, 2, in, 3, 4, out, 5, 6, to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, in, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, allongé, and close. We will do the other side. One thing I want to note, because I know Kristen mentioned this last week, and now I'm noticing it as I look at myself. When I'm doing the allongé, it looks a lot bigger than it is because my camera's below me. So it's really, when you do the allongé, if you're adding it in this week, it's really just this tiny lift. And because if you add the épaulement in, it lifts it up slightly more, but really you're just extending that middle finger out. It's like you're being pulled from here. So I think when I do it this way, it looks like I'm lifting my arm way up. It's a really small movement. So just kind of something to think about.
Height comes from the torso as opposed to the shoulder.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think is something my jazz teacher would talk about all the time too. She was like, move from your torso, like don't just move your extremities.
All right, let's do the left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tendu, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Allongé and close. I think I just did that from 5th and 1st on the right side, but oh well. How do you want to do battement tendu jeté, Kristen?
I don't know. I'm not picky. Yeah, I'm not picky what we do for this exercise. I think I just want everyone to really note that we raise our leg to 45 degrees maximum for battement tendu jeté. We've talked before that there's like debate between like different ballet teachers on if it should be 45 or it should be a little bit lower. And that the upper body does not change for battement tendu jeté. It all stays like very stacked, except for the épaulement.
Okay, so why don't we just do 4 en croix? So we'll do 7, 8. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll do that to the side and to the back.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to do it from 5th because I started to do it from 5th in tendus on one side. So I'll do it from 5th. If you want to do it from 1st, do it from 1st. I'm going to do it from 5th. So that's what I will do. And because it's an even number, you close the same side first, and then you switch when we go to the side. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, allongé, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Allongé and close.
I thought of another
Others.
thing I want to point out for battement tendu jeté that we've talked about this before, so it's just a reminder that we roll through the foot the same way we do for like battement tendu san. So we have that same intentionality that we've talked about of your foot like wanting to stay on the ground for as long as possible and then wanting to get like as much on the ground as it can be as it comes back in. And even as we do more and more complicated things, which we're going to get into today, we really want to be thinking about that like beginning movement of rolling through the foot. Thought of that too.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Allongé. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Allongé and close.
Ooh, is it time? Is it time to introduce arabesque, do you think?
Yes, I think
I'm feeling
so.
pretty warm, pretty limber. So I think for arabesque, we definitely want to have a bar substitute. I know we've kind of had it as like an option before. So even if you have just like a chair or something, a wall is great as well. All right, so for the arabesque, so this will formally be our arabesque clinic today. We've been working up to this moment, and after our arabesque clinic, we can move forward as even more advanced ballet dancers. And the arabesque is such a beautiful position. All right, so for the arabesque, we are going to go through, we're going to roll the foot through a battement tendu san to the back. Let's go from first. We're going to roll through the foot to the back. You can just watch Jackie for now, whatever feels comfortable. And then we are going to go up to a battement tendu jeté, that 45-degree angle where the upper body is fully stacked. And then from there, to allow the leg to go further up, we are going to push the torso forward. See how it all, so it's like from her shoulder blade to kind of like that, I don't know, like where her hip starts. It's a completely vertical line, and the back of your back should end up in line with the front of your thigh. So if we were in person, it'd be a lot easier to show you that. But look from like Jackie's shoulder down, like past her hips to like the front of her thigh and down to her foot. It's a straight line. And this is important because what we want to avoid is kind of like a tipping forward of the torso. That's a really common thing that dancers do to like try to get their leg up higher. But to properly train, we want to keep the back fully in line with the front of the thigh. And then we only take the leg up like as high as we can go. And Jackie's doing it without a bar or anything right now. That's so impressive. We only take it up as far as we can go without sacrificing the tilt of the torso. Once we get like significantly more advanced, we might tilt the torso, and then it's called a arabesque penché. Is that what you would call it, Jackie?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's where we take that like form of the torso and the leg, and we tip the entire thing forward. So see how like nothing changed in her body except for where her like upper body and her leg was in relation to the ground. Like her upper body didn't drop at all. All right, what else is good for explaining this, Jackie?
One thing I know that I used to do a lot, and I see a lot in young dancers, is it's really easy to sort of sink, and you want to protect your lower back. While you definitely are going to feel it in your lower back, it's like doing a back bend, you still want to protect it. So you always really need to keep your core engaged. It's really easy to kind of like let your everything hang out, and that puts too much strain here. So it's really important, if I don't fall, to lift this up, and that will also help keep your shoulders up. You do get to come forward a little bit, but you're not kind of doing this. You want it to be still really lifted. So I think that really helps. And you also want to try to keep your shoulders square, but you can open that right hip up. So that's kind of, and then I guess with the opening of the right hip, it's only as much as you need it to open to keep your leg rotated. So you want to keep your hips pushing forward, but there is a little open to allow it to, your leg to turn out. You don't want to do that.
What if we say for now we want to try not to open the hip at all? I know it like kind of does a little bit. I just don't want people to go like too much with it. And actually what's interesting, if you look at like Victorian dancers, they really open their hip. It's so interesting. It just must have been like the style of the time. You know what I'm talking about, Jackie?
Can you guys describe what opening your hip means exactly? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's happening or not, I guess.
So I almost think if anyone's done yoga and you know like this pose where you're like doing that, like that would be opening your hip, right? Your hip bones are facing the front. But what you want is your hip bones almost facing directly forward, but your right hip's going to come up a little bit so that you can keep your leg rotated. Because if you flip it in, your leg turns in.
Yeah, yeah.
But you don't want both hip bones forward.
Yeah. Which if you see Victorian dancers, it's so interesting. That's
They're doing this.
Yeah, and they tend to be like on the chubbier side too, which is so different than like American ballerinas of today. It's fun to see if you want to look it up. Look up like Victorian ballet dancers.
Doing their secabesque. We call these secabesque in ballet. It's not a real term. It's
halfway between second and halfway between arabesque.
Yeah, it's a negative term.
So I suppose let's maybe just try this a couple of times on both legs, if that sounds good. Traditionally, in a in-person class, like my instructor would spend like 45 minutes on this, and he'd go around and like individually correct each of us, kind of like pushing our hip down and like rotating our knee out and getting our like shoulders in exactly the right location. So we'll kind of have to figure out ways to get that same impact online.
And I'm going to suggest, if you have like a chair or a wall or something, face your chair. It'll give you a little bit more stability. You can, so you can kind of, don't grip, but it'll give you a little bit more stability. Make sure you're standing far enough away that you have space to move forward. but I think it makes it a little bit less scary too to come forward and a little bit easier to make sure that you're kind of squaring your shoulders. So even if that means you're like facing away at a wall, that's okay today.
Sorry, I got it. Should we do this with some counts? Should we do like 1, 2 out to Batma, Tendu San, 3, 4 out to Jeté, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 to come up the rest of the way to Arabesque? Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
1,
And then
2,
we'll
3,
come down with 4 counts as well.
5, 6,
And I like having those markers. I like thinking like by 2, I'm in Batma Tendu San. By 4, I'm in Batma Tendu Jeté. My leg should be 45 degrees. By 8, I should be fully in Arabesque. And then back the other way. I think it just helps to kind of like get almost like those formulas into our heads.
Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And breathe.
Woo, my Arabesque feels very different than it used to. I used to be so proud of my Arabesque. I thought I had like just the most beautiful Arabesque. Maybe that'll be my goal, to work back up to it.
Yeah, I'm really feeling my glutes right now.
I was also dancing like every single day for hours a day at the time. So that's just not realistic at this point in my life.
So in your opinion, where do you think we should be feeling it the most? More lower back, more glutes?
I feel it in my glutes the most, but I think because I don't have as much flexibility as I used to, I am feeling it in my back too.
Okay.
It should feel like muscles working. So, like it shouldn't be like a bad pain in your lower back. It should feel like I'm working this. It shouldn't. If you feel a bad pain in your lower back, bring your leg down lower.
Yeah, bring your leg down, maybe bring your rib cage like back in over center a little bit more. Nothing we ever ask you to do should like hurt like injury hurt. It should only hurt like, oh, I'm working my flexibility and my strength hurt. Or maybe I'm moving in ways that I haven't before in a long time hurt.
What are these muscles hurt?
So we were going to try an attempt to kind of recreate like the troubleshooting that instructors in person would do for their students doing Arabesque the first time. Only if Shruti and Anjali were comfortable. We were going to ask if we could spotlight them and then give them suggestions to improve their Arabesque. Would either of you be comfortable with that? I don't know if you guys can hear my husband and daughter having a conversation on if she has to pee or not.
Yes, but warning, it will be very, very beginner.
And that's
Yeah.
as it
That's
should.
not good.
As it
That's what
should.
we want, though.
This is your first time ever doing it. And the goal is just that it helps people watching this later on YouTube understand a bit more
Okay.
what they can do with their bodies as well.
Shruti, would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I want you to go first so I can get some
Okay.
tips and maybe try when I'm going
Maybe I
next.
shouldn't have asked.
And then if you're
Maybe I should have just been like, oh, look at that, Shruti's spotlight first. Hold on.
no pressure. We know that this is very
Oh.
different, like doing it on YouTube than like in a class of 15 people or whatever.
Okay, let me know when I'm in. Should be good, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's good.
Zach, are you still doing it with me?
No, I'm watching.
So what is the plan?
Do you want me to
guess-
count it
I
for
guess
you, or do you want to just go into the position? It's up to you.
Sorry, say that one more time.
Would you like me to count you in, or do you want to just slowly go into the position on your own time?
Slowly go into, maybe just like say, go to the next position versus 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So that would be the,
Yep, there's
Mhm.
Bharatanatyam.
I guess also between the second and the third, it's a little hard for me to differentiate. So it'd be,
Yep.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
but I feel like
Yeah.
I'm still bending forward more than you are.
A little bit.
Maybe, I don't know, what helps you to correct me. Should I do
Try
it?
doing it again, and this time think like I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna keep my shoulders pulling back to my foot the entire time. Yeah, there's the simple. There's the jeté.
Really
Wow.
good.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Do you see
Anjali,
that
you're not
everyone
bending.
watches?
I
Yeah.
That line, that straight
Like-
line from her back down the front of her leg.
like that's, I feel it
That
right
looks really good.
for me.
I feel it there too. Does it hurt or is it just kind
I
of
mean,
like a
it's definitely like a stretch, but maybe it's because my lower back is not as stretched out, you know?
yeah.
Mm.
I've always felt it. And it's never been like uncomfortable or painful, but I've always felt,
Yeah.
I don't know, something in my lower back when I do it.
And then I guess a question I had when I was doing it the first time is like, am I turning out my hip at all? I can't really tell.
It looks like you're doing it right. Like
Yeah.
just the right amount.
Yep.
How do you bring
Yep.
it so high, Jeff?
Well, many years of practice.
I feel like this is all I can do.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That looks
Like,
so
those-
good. The one thing I would tell you to
Right.
think about for next week, because that looks really, really good, and like the positioning is perfect, and I like that you're not forcing it. So I think that like the one thing I would think about for next week is trying to really get that muscle mind body connection,
Mhm.
and think about once it goes past that Batma Tendu Jeté position, driving the lift with the like working like glute muscle. So thinking about that being what's lifting it as you're doing it, like I think about it's this piece that's bringing my leg up.
Yeah.
So that's what I would just, and you're probably doing that, but that's something just to kind of.
And then also, is it common to be able to, that one side feels a little bit more comfortable than the other? I guess I'll move my chair.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, my right leg goes way higher than my left
I
leg.
feel like it feels
My left leg goes higher. I think because I had a hip injury on my right when I was in high school.
But I think most people's left arabesque is better because it's like a right split. Mine
Yeah.
is left. My left split and left is more flexible than my right. So my right arabesque goes way higher.
There's the sun. There's the jeté. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
my face is
So
probably so
good.
close.
So some things that you're doing really well, Anjali, is I can tell that you're keeping the knee lifted. even as you go into that like challenging back position. And I don't know, I can't tell perfectly, but it looks like you're keeping like a relatively light touch on that chair. You're not like gripping the chair with like white knuckles and all of your might.
Oh. I will say one like feedback. I actually feel like through the past couple months of ballet, I have like gained a lot more strength here. Which is really good, I guess, after like hurting my knees after a while. I feel I couldn't really flex that muscle before. So practicing that like the basics over and over again and learning to like get a little bit more strength to that area.
Do you feel like it's been helpful for your knees?
Yeah.
Like extra strength. Nice.
It also like the first couple times it hurt immensely afterwards, or it was just very, very sore. It's at least like I can feel the tension in that muscle now. In the beginning, it was kind of, I guess it hurt more so. That was like a good type of sore.
Nice. Okay, I got another thing for you too.
Yes.
Is to really, really point that toe. Yeah, really point it there. Yeah. Think about really pointing it there. Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh, you
there
just
you
like
go.
turned it out. Ooh, that was beautiful.
Oh, there was a nice little whoop.
Yes. Oh my
Anjali.
God, I'm so excited. It looks so good. Oh,
Okay.
nice. Do you have any other questions or anything else for her, Jackie?
No, I think that looks so good. You should be really proud of yourself. It's like perfect technique, and then with time, it will get higher and higher and higher as you gain more strength and flexibility.
Yep.
I think I have an idea of also what to practice a little bit. I'm gonna be sore tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Sore. Okay.
You know what I realized? I should have shown you all mine before I asked Anjali and Shruti to show
Yeah.
theirs.
Maybe you can show it to us right now and then I will join the group.
He's trying to skip her turn.
No? No, it is just
I
that
think so,
Anjali
guys.
showed it beautifully. I'm going to put a disclaimer because I'm not so flexible person. So you need to kind of like give me a lot of corrections. So
Yeah.
You
No,
don't
and
have to be
I'm like,
so cool.
Jackie knows this. Jackie, I'm like one of the least flexible people you know. Remember Ishkwala?
I think something that's really, really cool about learning like the proper arabesque technique is that even people that like felt like they weren't all that flexible, like once they get sort of like that torso push forward, it really like gives you a lot more room to play with, and you can kind of get this like really beautiful arabesque, even if you don't feel like you're like super duper flexible.
I feel like it's not targeting or putting emphasis on muscles that I didn't really necessarily work before.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel in Bharatanatyam. So
Yeah. Good, we're getting a full body workout here.
I'm like, what are these eye movements?
It feels good though, like all like the hand stuff and the eye stuff. I'm always like, I think this is something that my body can benefit from.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Okay, I'll show you mine quick and you guys can give me feedback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who should I spotlight next?
Okay. It used to be so beautiful and it doesn't look the same anymore.
Still beautiful. It's just a different beautiful.
Yeah, watch it still be amazing.
yeah.
It will be. It will be.
So a big thing I've been having to think about as we go through these classes is as I go to the back, like really, I've been having a tendency to let my leg get a little bent. That's a huge thing I've been working on. Okay. See already, it's got a little bend there. Straighten that out. Jeté. Now the torso's going forward.
Woo-hoo.
But that's amazing.
Beautiful.
Now the torso's back in and in. Whew, and I was shaking.
Beautiful.
This side, you have to see my butt. Yeah, I'm working.
You know, I'll be
so
honest,
hard.
it's actually helpful to see all angles because I feel like in class, you'd be able to have that experience of like walking around or moving around and seeing different angles. So I actually think that's kind of helpful to see like where that lands. Everyone's body is different, of course, but there's still like a relative.
Yeah, and you can tell why ballerinas do it like this way to the audience as opposed to this way to the audience. One just looks a lot more appealing.
Yeah, whenever you do we haven't gone into it, but there's like body positions, and there's only specific like ways you'll put your leg in each body position. Like you wouldn't do an arabesque facing that way because it's like a crotch shot. You know, like there's ways. Ballet's all about lines and about, it's like posing for an Instagram photo, right? Like you're trying to get the perfect twist and the perfect angle, and that's what the ballet body positions do, is you're doing them from a specific angle so that it looks the best.
Yeah, and then modern goes and like breaks all of those rules and like puts the dancer in unappealing positions, but that end up looking nice too.
Yeah.
All right, you ready, Shruti? You feeling comfortable?
Yeah, totally. I'm just gonna learn even if I'm not doing it right. So I'm totally on.
It's actually helpful for me too. I feel like I need to see, right, somebody else who's doing it for the first time.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. Am I doing it right? You guys can give me counts or anything?
What if Shruti's like, I've been doing this for years?
No. I could go only till this much.
That's okay. Can you straighten that back like a little? There you go. Perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
When you straighten the leg, it was like, whoo, there it is.
Yeah, I think I'm bending my knee. So I'm just trying to kind of like not bend it. But
we naturally want to bend it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Are you able to push the torso further forward at all?
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm not pushing. Okay.
Don't do anything that hurts. It looks nice.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it here, but yeah, otherwise I think I'm kind of like, it's not intentional, but I'm trying to kind of like get support by bending my knee so that I can kind of like lift it more. I think that's one. So let me see how my left looks.
Yeah.
And once we learn the arabesque, we can learn attitude, which is where you take arabesque and you bend your leg a little bit.
So what?
We did attitude in Escola.
Oh. Well, I guess that came a year and a half too early.
Okay, I'll go with my left.
Pause here just for a moment. Can you straighten your leg here? Yes, and point your toe a tiny bit more. And then can you bring your ankle down to the floor?
No, other way.
Yeah, keep your toe pointed. Yeah, that looks better. And then is your knee totally straight right now?
Yeah, the knee is totally straight.
Okay, and then
I can feel it.
From here. Yes.
Yeah.
And then yes!
Oh, wow.
It's really interesting because I can also see these little changes too. I can't necessarily see them myself, you know?
I get it now. I get it.
Yeah.
When I kind of like make it more pointed, as you corrected me, Kristen, it's easy to kind of like even have my knee straight. So that helps even.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm doing it once again. Just correct me if I'm going wrong.
Point your toe a little bit more.
Okay.
Can you get your toes? Can you kind of get like your toenails on the floor instead of like the pads of your toes?
Oh, now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now start to raise.
Oh, really good. Really good.
Yes.
Oh my God. I'm gonna be
So
sore for sure.
So one thing I also noticed, and I am so guilty of doing this too, is like as you were so focused on what your legs were doing, your shoulders started to like.
Okay.
And I am super guilty of doing this. So just when you're practicing, like think about keeping your shoulders down as well,
Down,
which will,
okay.
it will help.
Jackie,
But
it's so interesting you say that, because in Bharatanatyam too, when I was a kid and I was learning for the first time, whenever I'd get really stressed, I would do this.
Yeah.
And my instructor, my teacher, she would always do this. And I just knew that meant like to shoulders specifically. Because the tension really builds up, I feel like, when you're concentrating to go like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it might even be like a natural human response. Like that's what we do when we're uncomfortable and we're putting ourselves in uncomfortable positions.
Yeah.
Kristen, can you repeat the suggestion you gave me to focus on? Something you said about shoulders pressing something.
Was I talking about?
I think you said something like pull the shoulders back, or just to repeat that suggestion or correction.
Oh, yeah. So we talk about like bringing the torso forward straight. So we want the like shoulders in line with like the front of the thigh, and yours were like tipped forward just a tiny bit. But then you did right away like pull them back, and you got your torso right in line, just how we want it.
Okay, I should need to hear it one more time. Like hearing it that first time made me think of it, so I just have to remember.
Yeah. And I know I talk a lot about like that spiraling, and here is a huge place where that like spiraling comes into play. Like where if your left leg is going up, you want to think about trying to like there's a string between your right shoulder and your left toe, and it's like pulling together. Because it's so easy to let, like if your left leg's going up, it's easy to let the right shoulder come down. And we want to like have that spiraling happening throughout the body. Does that make sense at all? I feel like my instructors talked about that for years, and I was like, I don't get it.
I just think there's so much, like, there's so many things to think about, and there's so many ways to spiral. Like even I think of in like the arabesque, like not only are you spiraling like this shoulder with this leg, right? But I also think, okay, I'm spiraling this leg open. I'm spiraling this leg open. You know, and you're spiraling your back. I mean, there's so many things, just which actually creates the stability though, right? Because it's the forces going in different directions. But,
yeah. Like it gets your muscles really going, and yeah. All right. Well, shall we do some Battement Relevé Lente then?
Do you want to do an encore?
Yeah. Why not? I think we should. If that
sounds... spotlight Jackie again, then.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've done. So Battement Relevé Lente is a slow lowering of the leg as high as you can, and so we've done it going to the back, because you have to get into that arabesque position, which is why we had to introduce arabesque before we could formally do Battement Relevé Lente. And then going forward into the side, it's the same concept. You roll through the foot to get into Battement Tendu Sun. You raise up into Battement Tendu Jeté. And then for this one, nothing in your upper body changes. You just continue to raise your leg as high as you can. And then you slowly bring it down again through those exercises like we've done before. And then it's the same for this side as well. Battement Tendu Sun comes up through Jeté and then continues as high as you can. A huge thing when we go to the side is you have to have that turnout, otherwise your leg gets locked up. Like, do you want to do it in parallel, Jackie, and just kind of show like you can't go any higher than that with your leg in parallel, so you have to rotate it out in order to be able to pull it up higher. Yeah.
And I think with doing it to the front and to the side, those are a lot easier because it's basically like you just take your dégagé or your Battement Tendu Jeté and you just raise it as high as you can. It's okay if it's not that much higher. Right now, mine's not that much higher. But what's really important with those two is that you're keeping your hips square. So when you're going to the front, you're making sure that your hips stay flat and in line. It's kind of easy to sort of like lift. You don't want to do that. You want to keep your leg rotated and keep your hips flat. So if that means you can't lift it as high, that's okay. And the same thing to the side. It's easy to like lift and get your leg higher. That's not what you want to do. You want to keep your hip bones straight across.
Yeah, yeah. And that's for practice because again in dance, like once we've practiced this raising of the leg to the side, like you might do a tilt sometime where the leg goes to the side and the torso tips over. But that's more advanced. We want to make sure we can do it keeping the torso center before we add those other things that require more core strength to perform properly. Any questions before we try it? I'm excited.
Okay. So I think do with your arms what feels the most comfortable. I'm actually going to put mine in what I call like mosquito arms, which is I'll have one arm on the bar, but you can put it on your hips if that helps you make sure that they're square. Remembering that in the back, it can open up a little bit, but just do whatever you feel more comfortable. If keeping them out in second is most comfortable and helps with your balance, feel free to do that. Right now, I think we're really focusing on the torso placement and the legs and hips. So do what you feel best. So I think we'll just do the same counts we had done when we did it to the airbus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we'll just do it once front side, or we'll do it one time front side, back side, and then I think we'll do it again, front side, back side, and then do the left side.
Sounds good.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Again to the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And breathe. Any questions, comments before we go to the other side?
I got a comment. I couldn't raise my leg to the side any higher than the 45 degrees.
Same here.
I'm gonna
Same
be
here.
honest.
I was just,
same.
I was
I
like
tried
trying
so
to.
hard.
I know to the front, I was like, and that's the size.
I was like, work, muscle, work.
Yeah.
It was like I'm fully strained and this is what I got.
It was a very
And that's
interesting
okay.
muscle. I don't use that often.
What's that?
I'm like, sorry. Go ahead, Anjali.
I know. I just said it was a very that. I don't know where I felt it. Maybe I haven't felt it that in a while.
I saw you kind of like checking on your knee a little bit. Was
Yeah,
that
or I couldn't get. I don't know. I had to adjust a little bit. Basically, I felt I felt a little wacky in that position, so I kind of adjusted and came back down and back up again.
Yep. I had to bring my leg a little further forward than what I do for my jeté to get any kind of upward lift. And I think that's okay. And then we just keep on working on getting it turned out more and more as we gain strength. So ballet dancers have strength in this muscle that kind of runs from the inside of the knee to the outside of the hip. And you can see it kind of bulge on ballet dancers. And it's not a muscle that I think often gets used in anything else. And I could feel that muscle really working. All right, I can be quiet now. We can keep dancing.
No, I think it's really important though to remember, as Kristen said, mine, that was as high as it could go, and that's okay. There's no judgment about it not being high. You don't want to just bring it up high for, vanity. It's more important that all the pieces are in alignment than it is how high your leg is. And it doesn't mean, oh, I'm not strong or, oh, I'm not flexible or whatever. It just means that's not where you are today. And
yeah.
So, don't judge that. That's just not where you are today. Let's do the other side. And Kristen also mentioned, to the side, she brought her legs forward more to give that. So normally, maybe when you do a tendu, maybe your leg might go trying to show, so we know no one tendu straight to the side, right? It's a little bit forward based on your first position. It's okay to maybe bring in even a little bit more forward if that helps you rotate. So that's kind of what she was talking about.
Yeah. And then we're always thinking about continuing that rotation and continuing trying to get it back, but it's okay to let it go forward.
Okay. Left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and breathe.
All right, I think we're even a little over time, so I suppose we should do reverence real quick and finish this out.
So everyone stand on your left foot, right foot behind, step across, curtsy, cross, curtsy, and bow, and bow. And make sure to stretch after today.
Yeah, we should do some. My legs were shaking so much, even for reverence there. But I love it. It even felt better there at the end than it did at the beginning of class.
Yeah. I noticed too, like I noticed I'm getting like lazy because my like not only was my working leg bending, but my standing leg was bending. So that's something I need to do is like pull up my kneecap in everything I do.
Yeah. And these like little micro adjustments, even the best like professional ballerina, like they're thinking of all of these things at all times too. I would imagine, I guess I haven't actually talked to one or ever been one myself. Well, thank you so much, Anjali and Shruti, for letting us put the video on you. I hope that was really helpful to people that watch this video later, and hopefully it was helpful for you as well.
Sorry, I said mute. I said, yeah, this is just super helpful.
Yeah, it was.
It helped us see very, very beginner.
No,
Yep.
so cool. It's really fun to see, like, after all of this practice, like, this is your first time ever doing an arabesque. And because of all the work you've done working on the like tendus, you did it beautiful today. I think that's cool.
Yep.
And anyone that's watching on YouTube, if you want to come on and get all that like individualized feedback for your arabesque as well, we'd love to see you on Zoom. All right, any other announcements? I know we're kind of over right now. I think, is Darshan doing yoga this week? Is that what I saw on Instagram?
Yeah.
I think this month, 30 days.
Yoga.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what time the video's uploaded. I've been doing them in the evening after another workout. I like to end with yoga. So I'm not sure what time during the day it's actually uploaded. It's usually uploaded by the evening. But 10 a.m. Uploaded every day at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's 10 minutes too. So it's it's not an intimidating size at all, like for a video. So I've been wanting to get into yoga. So I'm starting now, just 10 minutes a day.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I like how it focuses on a couple things a day and repeats them a few times and really gets into those. I feel like sometimes in yoga classes, it goes by really quickly and they try to fit everything in 25 minutes. And it serves different purpose, of course, but I think this is like a good, it feels like I'm on a,
I thought Darshan
I guess journey is the word they use, so I don't know.
Sorry, I talked over you.
No, I was just saying it kind of feels like you're following, like it feels continuous from one day to the next, that you're kind of picking off where you left off.
Nice. I thought he was one of the best yoga instructors I've ever taken a class from. So check him out.
Any other announcements?
I don't think so.
This looks like a fun class. I know I was like watching most of the time, but I was like, oh man, it looked so difficult, but exciting. So
well, if you want to be spotlighted when you're ready for your arabesque, we can do that for you too.
Yeah.
sure thing.
Yeah, and then we just have, yeah, Aaron, come on, show us yours. That's too much of an outward rotation for your hip.
But it shows us that we can use the fridge handle. You can use any
You can punch and get a snack and come up.
Yeah.
Don't give me ideas, Jackie. That's if that's the method you're giving me to practice.
Good job. You get one M&M.
That would be an incentive. I don't know if I would like putting chocolate into my tummy while I was working that hard.
Probably not.
All right. Any final questions?
I don't think so. So next week we'll be back to half and half, and until a few weeks from now or a month from now, I guess depending on how far we get along, we can determine when we want to next do the 1 hour sessions. And for anybody watching on YouTube as well, we'd appreciate the feedback if you guys find these useful. I definitely am enjoying every once in a while getting to do an hour of each. I think you get to go a little bit deeper into the curriculum for both of them. And it comes at a nice point sometimes where you can recap a couple things you've learned so far.
Yeah, it's been great.
All right. So see everybody next week on Wednesday.
Bye.